already underway. Pass to Gronkowski. He's going to score a touchdown. Rob Gronkowski's got 2 today. Big time pressure on Mahomes. Antonio Brown dives low to make this catch. The Chiefs try to regroup. They are down 21-6 at halftime. To the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Tampa Bay. There's nothing the Chiefs can do. There will be no repeat. Bucks win the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, you are the man. You are the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
That is the last time we saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, I told you Tom Brady is set to do something today he has not done in 16 years. And here's Jenna Lane at a familiar address to tell us exactly what that is. Good morning, Jenna.
Good morning from the White House, Greeny. Tom Brady is set to visit the White House for the first time since 2005. He did not make the trip with the Patriots in 2015 or 2017, and the Patriots didn't visit the White House in 2019. But I am told he is on a plane right now, headed for D.C. They're set to land about 9:30. 10 o'clock. The official ceremony is going to get underway between about 11:15. All of this depends on traffic. It's a fluid situation. But this trip was put together very, very quickly. And just to give you an idea of how last minute it was, guys were scrambling last minute to try to get into Tampa in time. Most of the guys thought they were just going to need to get in time for Thursday's ring ceremony. But because of all this, I was texting Tristan Wirfs yesterday, and of course he's 6'5", 320 pounds, huge offensive tackle. One of his legs is bigger than the size of my torso. He was texting his mom saying, I can't find any pants that fit. I can't find a suit that'll fit. But thankfully he was able to get a jacket, and he's going to wear some khakis. But yeah, that just gives you an idea of how quickly they had to put all of this together today. Tons of excitement, though, with this team. They never imagined in a million years they'd be going to the White House.
These are delightful problems to have, I'm sure. In the meantime, as the Bucs do up in training camp, there was a lot of talk last week about Tom Brady and his knee and an MCL and surgery. What do we know?
Yeah, you know, Brady said that it was about April, May of this past year that he knew he was going to need knee surgery in the offseason. But I asked Bruce Arians, was it a problem at all during the season? And he said no. And he told me he's healing great. There's going to be no restrictions on him come training camp and mini camp. Arians held him out of blitz periods, precautionary wise, in case there were any overzealous pass rushers. But that's not going to be the case Sunday. He expects Brady to be full go.
All right, that is Jenna Lane live from the White House with the coverage today of the Buccaneers celebrating their championship. Outstanding, Jenna. Thank you so much. Enjoy the day. We'll check in with you a little bit later. In the meantime, more on Brady. Now, the biggest game of this year before the postseason will come week 4 when Brady makes his much anticipated return to New England. And Byron Cowart is a Patriots defensive tackle who played 1 season with Brady. And in talking about that game, he said this, quote, "We ain't welcoming him. We just got to play him. There ain't going to be no damn ceremony for him or nothing like that." And my first reaction to that is, I would bet against that. I would bet they will definitely have some sort of ceremony for him. In the meantime, Jeff Saturday, you were telling us a great story before the show today about a moment where that actually happened to you and the impact it can have on a player during a game.
Yeah, I mean, look, Greeny, look, I was playing for the Green Bay Packers my last season. We're going back to play the Indianapolis Colts. And when we get there, midway through the third quarter, they played on the Jumbotron this great memorial for my career there. And, that, you know, it's playing on there. And I will tell you, it was the most emotional game I played in. And that includes AFC Championship games, Super Bowls, you name it, because all your fans, when you come out to warm up, they're screaming your name. Saturday, we miss you, we love you, like all those things that went in. And it was an incredible moment. And I got choked up when they played it. I remember walking off the field. We lost. They had an incredible comeback to beat us. And I'm walking back in. I remember Coach McCarthy, Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Cowboys now, who was with Green Bay, looked over at me and goes, "Hey, man, I hate the result, but you'll never forget this moment. Most people will never get this opportunity. Remember this." And I'll tell you the truth, that is a fact. It's still one of the most memorable moments of my NFL career in the 14 years and the success we had. That right there, they will do that for Tom Brady in New England. Rest assured, and it will affect him and the rest of the fans in New England.
I love that story. And Mike T, did you have a similar experience?
For all you parents out there, raise your kids to be centers and not GMs, because mine was the exact opposite. As a member of the Dolphins going back into MetLife, I was booed mercilessly. They were yelling about the Tebow trade. Everything Jeff talked about was the exact opposite for me.
I'd like to, right now, finally, after all this time, apologize to you for that. That was me. That was me who was screaming at you from the stands at MetLife. Tannenbaum, you stink. But all kidding aside, Schefter, there is going to be a lot planned there. And the idea, Byron Coward, again, he is welcome to say whatever he wants. And, of course, they have to approach that game like just any other game. But there's no conceivable chance that will be just any other game. And the Patriots, we don't know what, but we have to assume they will do something to celebrate Brady, Adam, yes?
Well, listen, there were people who told me this offseason that this will be the most anticipated regular season game in NFL history. Think about that for a moment, that there's never been a regular season game more anticipated than this. And you think about why, and it makes a lot of sense. You've got a quarterback who's won more Super Bowls, meant more to one team than maybe any player in history, going back to a place that he really didn't get to say goodbye to. How emotional is that night going to be? It's going to be incredible, going to be filled with emotion, lots of accomplishments. And oh, by the way, back to everybody booing Mike Tannenbaum out of MetLife Stadium. I heard one person say, go back to teaching Columbia. I remember hearing somebody saying that.
That's a very humble brag from Tannenbaum, for those of you just joining us today, when he just offhandedly referenced the class that he teaches at Columbia University. That was extraordinarily well done. All right, let me run the bases. Guys, sit tight. Much more football as we go. But let me run the bases through the action from the majors last night. Hey, we had a game that lasted 4 hours and 45 minutes, and in the end, the New York Mets smashed 7 home runs, shook off 4 errors in the first 2 innings, and ultimately came up with a wild 15-11 win in 11 over the Reds. The Mets maintain a 2.5-game lead in the National League East. Meanwhile, in D.C., the Nats just demolished Miami 18-1. They hit 6 home runs. Juan Soto hit 2 of them, 2 solo shots, drove in 5. Since the All-Star break, the slugger is now 10 for 17, 5 homers, 11 ribs, 8 runs scored in 4 games. And finally, another game with a giant score differential. Red Sox crushed Toronto 13-4, hitting 6 home runs, including a grand slam from Hunter Renfroe, 2 home runs by Kike Hernandez. Boston now a game and a half up on Tampa Bay in the American League.